Okay. Can you confirm, guys? Are you able to see my screen or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
I
we
can
can
see.
see.
Okay, perfectly fine. Okay, so you will get a page like this for your instance. Click on the cubic release only and get an instance. Okay, once after 5 or 10 minutes, you will get a pop-up something like this, that this is the URL of your instance. And what is that URL will contain? The URL will be something like this: dev, then some digits will be there, and then you will get some number here. Sorry, name here, servicenow-.com. I just putting everyone on the mute, guys, for a time being. Okay. Okay. The one thing which is important for you is that you will be getting the admin username and the password. So you need to be logged in with the admin here. Your username will be the admin and the password you will get on the top. In the red color you will get in the top as in the password. Okay, once you get that, then you need to be logged in. The reason is that I created a dummy user for me in my instance, and I'm using that only. Okay, so this thing maybe take half an hour for you guys. When after this training will be over, I share the recording, you can go and get a instance. But what I can say, definitely you go and get your instance from ServiceNow. But what I recommend is that going forward, we will be using only my instance for the practice. The reason is that if you face any issue, I will be able to resolve it at any point of time. You no need to be share the username password with me. So what I say, go and get a instance, but we will do the practice in my instance only, because this is a fresh instance which I took approximately 1 or 2 months back only. I'm doing some R&D on that. So I will be creating everyone users here, not today, tomorrow when we go for that particular topic. So I'm logging here now. I created a user, learn and grow, and I have a password, and I click on the login here. Okay, so this is the first screen you will get when you open the ServiceNow instance. Okay, a lot of things are there, and today our topic will be specifically to give you an understanding what all these terms mean here. What is the meaning of these terms here? What is the meaning of these boxes here? Okay, this is called specifically this particular page divided in the three major sections. On the top, this one up to this line completely, it's called the banner frame. This one complete called the banner frame. This is called the application navigator, and this is called the content frame. From tomorrow onwards, when I say you, okay, go to the application navigator, so you guys should know that what I'm talking here. This is my application navigator. What is application, what is module, everything we will discuss in detail. So now take example, you buy a new phone. We are doing the unboxing of that phone and you switch on that phone. Now I will tell you that on this particular phone, what is the meaning, what is the purpose of different symbols, what is the purpose of the volume key, volume up, what is the purpose of the power button, what is the purpose of the finger tip which we put on the or the your sensor basically, what is the purpose of the clicking on this icon. So today we are going to be discuss that part only, because if you know this thing, a lot of operation work will be easy for you guys. When you start working on the incident change problem kind of stuff, a lot of things will be easy for you guys. Okay, so this is a very basic one. So on the top, it is a banner. On the left, it is an application navigator, and on the middle part, it is called the content frame for me. Now let's take example of the banner frame. You can see a lot of options here. Service now, service management, some three boxes are there, some name is written, some magnify glass.
Sir,
Yes, yes, Gaurav.
I am not able to see the screen, sir.
But there is some issue in at your end, because everybody is able to see now.
Yes.
Shim, you are able to see, right? Farad, Shim, Sachin.
Yes, yes.
Yes, I can see.
Maybe Gaurav, there's some network issue. It's lagging at your end.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Okay. So now I'll show you that what is the purpose of this. See, remember when you open a new phone, there's a purpose of every symbol. There's a purpose of every button. Company are not creating a button like anything. They're creating a button for a specific purpose. When I know when I click on the right side, a small button is there. That is a power button. It will on or off my phone. It will give me option to restart my phone. Okay. So now if I say I'm running a company here and I want that my company symbol should become here. That is the purpose of this particular image. The another benefit we call this as a banner image. Okay, we call this as a banner image, and sometime in the interview this question has been asked that what do you mean by the banner image and what is the purpose of the banner image. Now I tell you, suppose I am on this application here. Okay, I want to go back to my home page. What I'll do, I just click on the banner image. I will be going back to my home page here. You are, suppose I'm on my profile section. Okay. I want to go back from here. Click on the banner image. So banner image is basically the image which serve two purposes. Number one, it will be giving a name, a front end to your users that on for which company you are working. Second, it help me to bring my user back to the home page. Okay, so that is the purpose of the banner image here. Service management, it is nothing but it is a simple text. How to change this text, we will discuss in the coming sessions. As of now, you can mention your company name, your name. I'll tell you that what is the option available for the same, where you can go and make the changes. That I will tell you. Okay. Now let's see these three boxes. Let me do one thing. Let me remove this first. Okay. We have two boxes, number one and number two. The boxes with this pages sign is called the update set. Now tell me one thing. I want to transfer or I want to relocate from one location to other location. I will call the mover and the packer. Right? I will call mover packer, right? Yes or no? Say yes or no, yaar.
Could
Yes.
you repeat, please?
Okay.
Can you repeat?
I'm saying I want to relocate from one location to the other location. Okay. I call to the movers and packers. They guys come in my home and they start packing the stuff in the boxes. Small boxes, big boxes, right? They pick up that box, put into the container or put into the vehicle. That vehicle will travel and go to the new destination. When it reaches to the new destination, you start unpacking the everything. Okay. So here the important concept is that that container which contains multiple things in it. Maybe in a single container you put your books, you put your clothes, and you put your kids' laptop or the games as well. Okay. So the same way update set work in our service now. Update set means a way, a functionality where I will capture all my configuration, all my customization, and I will move my code from one instance to the another instance. Now the question comes, Atul sir, what do you mean by the one instance to the another instance? Okay. So when I say one instance to the another instance, let's take example. I have a kid of the 5 years. Okay. He has the internal exams first in month of December. In month of January, he has a class exams. And in month of March, he has the final exams, right? It means every exam, his level is upgrading. In every way, in every exam, his way of working, his way of thinking, his way, the data which he read, the books which he read is increasing in every exam. So when I say the instance means, actually in our IT industry, we have a three different instances. One is called the development instance, where I as a developer do my development. Second is called the UAT instance, that is called the user acceptance testing, where the testing has been happen by the users. And finally, we have a production instance where the things are available for the end users or the customers. Like take example, Amazon website. Everybody is using the Amazon website, I'm sure. Every day you see some changes on the Amazon website. The Amazon website which you guys are able to see, which I'm able to see, is basically a production instance. So that it is, I can use, I can order, I can request, I can raise an incident in that particular instance. But Amazon as a company has a two different instance as well, UAT and dev, where they people do the development and they upgrade, sorry, they move their code to the next level. So the module which help me to move my code from one instance to the another instance is called the update set. Very much important from the interview perspective. It is generally asked, what do you mean by the word update set? Okay. Any doubt, any question till this point?
Excuse me, Atul.
Yeah.
So every customization or development or configuration are stored in
Update set.
yes, an update set in order to be able to move it to another instance.
Yes. Only
Okay.
this, no data has been stored in update set. If you create a user, you want that it should be going to the update set, it will not go. Only configurations, your code, your developments, customization, everything goes in that, but no data go into the updates.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
So that is the purpose of the update set here.
Okay.
Now I come to the next point, that is called the, this one you can see some keyboard buttons there, that is called the application scoping. I'm sure when we were kids and someone bring the laptop in my home, they say, beta, don't open this laptop, I will give you the another way to open the laptop. What they do, they create a separate account for me, right? They create a separate user for me, so that if I make any changes in that, it should not be impact anyone. Okay. In the same way, ServiceNow has a functionality called the application scoping. I'm again repeating my word. It is called the application scoping. It is little tough to understand now. We will discuss this in detail approximately on the day of 40 or 41. Okay, but as of now, just understand that there's a term called application scoping, which help me to differentiate my different applications. The normal or the best example I can give you here, when we do the coding in C, C++, Java or anything, okay, we always declare the variable. And variable declaration can be done on the two places. It can be a local variable, it can be a global variable. Something similar we have in our ServiceNow for the application scoping. Okay, we will discuss this in detail, that how this can be created, because it is a wider topic and it is not for the today's part. Okay, now the next part you can see here, this option is called the, where you can see that who is login into the system. It means, in the other words, if I say this option tell me the logged in user detail. So like I log in, I have a username called the learn and grow. Okay, so I log in with that and I created this account. Let me show you this thing, that how you can do or how you can use this. When I click here on this, I can go to my profile. Okay. And here you can see everything for me. Let me change the view here. So this is my user ID, learn and grow, which I use when I want to log in into the system. Then this is my first name. This is my last name. This is the company where I am working now. This is my time zone. Okay. Now I give you the question. It is a homework for all of you. You need to find out, or you need to search that how the time zone work in ServiceNow. Okay. You guys need to find out the answer that how the time zone work in ServiceNow. I don't want answer now, but it is a question for you which I can ask maybe by tomorrow or day after tomorrow. Okay, and here I can go and put my image as well. Now the question comes, how I can create a user in my system. We will discuss maybe today or tomorrow. We will not today, tomorrow we will discuss that how you can create a user in the ServiceNow. So it means from tomorrow your practical part will be starting. Actually, I will be giving the instance and you can start working on that part. Okay, then I have an option called the logout here. There is one more option available. Impersonate a user.
Atul, your screen is not visible.
Yeah. Anyone else also facing this issue? Kya?
It's clear for me.
Gaurav, Reshma, Mahesh,
No,
Roshan.
no, sir. No, sir.
No, sir.
No, sir.
Or not able to see.
Able to see, sir.
Able to see, sir.
Sachin, some issue at your end, kya network ka? Not sure that why this issue is happening so frequently nowadays.
होना नहीं चाहिए.
Yeah, because from the last 18 minutes we are just on the same screen. We're discussing one by one. Maybe you can just re-log in again, Sachin.
Okay.
It should not be a solution actually, but everybody is confirm on that part. Okay, let him come back. In the meantime, I have a question for you guys. Do you know or do you have any understanding the word called impersonate? What do you mean by the word impersonation? Any idea on that?
Yes, maybe we simulate another user or change user, something like that.
Okay. Reshma, what you say? What do you mean by the word impersonate user?
Change user.
No, sir.
No idea. Okay.
No idea, sir.
Sachin, what you say? What do you mean by the word impersonate user?
Change user.
Impersonate user. This is the option. This one. Sachin, any idea on that? Sorry. Yeah, Farah.
Any personalized user interface for particular person like VIP users or something like that?
No. Farah, what you say?
User, sir.
Which one?
I said that it's like we simulate another user, another profile of user. For
Okay.
example, we can impersonate admin user or impersonate ITIL user, etc. It's like we see the behavior of the user. We simulate the behavior of a user with the new, let's say, roles or something like that.
Okay. Now you give me the complete answer. Very good. That's fine. Now give me the layman example. That how I should able to tell everyone that this is the purpose of the impersonate user, which you told me is from the ServiceNow perspective, which I'm looking for from the layman language perspective. Give me one example. Okay, no problem. So let me give you that example. Sachin, the answer which you says is basically personalization, not the impersonation. Let's take example. Earlier days, we have a very normal movie theaters. A big screen, you go and watch the movie, that's fine. Then it become the PVRs, Dolby theaters it become. You will listen each and every bit or beat of the music or the dialogues or the instruments. Okay. Later on, we come to know that there is a concept called the 3D view as well. You put some glasses on your eyes and you go and watch that movie. When I say the 3D part, you think that you are sitting at that place. If you are watching Jurassic Park, you think that you are actually in the jungle, even though you are not in the jungle, right?
Yes.
Right? If I say
Right.
you're watching some, you are doing some racing car, you are playing some video game which is a 3D base. You think that you are driving that car, you are driving that bike, but actually you're not driving it, right?
Yes. Virtually.
So that is the same. We have a impersonate user to see that how it will be look like to the other user at point of time. I know I cannot go to US, but if I create an atmosphere in my home which look like it's a US, it's which look like it's a weather in the US, which give me a kind of a presence that I'm sitting in the US, it means I'm able to simulate that. I'm able to
Simulator, right?
simulate, not completely simulator, but basically simulator is something different. Impersonation means that you are acting on the other user behalf. Let's take example. Okay, let's take example of this thing. When we were kids, okay, suppose your teacher did not come in the class. Okay, we have a class monitor, right? Everybody know this, that we have a class monitor. What that person's doing, he start acting like a teacher. Guys, keep quiet. Guys, open your books, start reading this chapter. I will listen after 15 minutes. What he or she is doing, he is acting on the behalf of the teacher, even though he or she is not actually teacher, they are just monitor, but they impersonate that particular person and behaving like they are a teacher, and complete class listen to him or her that time. No, she will put the complaint to the teacher. Okay, so impersonation says that I can impersonate with any user and to see that how this will be look like to the other person. Okay, now the question come, why we need the impersonation? Ikvi, good morning. Sorry, good evening. Welcome.
Hi.
I hope you are doing well.
Yes, I lost my phone. I don't know why I kept my phone, so I couldn't log in.
Okay, no problem. So let's have a question to you now. What is the purpose of impersonate user in ServiceNow? Don't say it is for the simulation or something. I want to know the actual purpose which ServiceNow give.
Yeah, impersonating a user is just almost like shadowing the user, but you're not actually in the person's actual instance. So
Okay.
you're just going in to use the person's user access. You're just going to
Okay.
emulating. That's another way of saying emulating a user.
That's fine. That's fine. But why it is be given by ServiceNow? Why you need impersonate user?
It's for administrators, I think, to be able to solve problems or um, to let me think, to be able to be, you're basically wearing the shoes of the user, and then you can see if the person says they have a certain problem, you can impersonate the person to emulate the person and see how the problem, like in real time, from your access, from your own computer. I don't know. I don't know if I have the right
Okay.
explanation. You know
No,
better, but I.
still, I'm missing that the key words here. Okay, Sachin, what do you think? Why ServiceNow give me an impersonate user option? Sachin, what do you think? Sachin, you're speaking on mute if you're speaking. Yes, tell me.
Atul, could you repeat your
Why
question?
why Sachin why ServiceNow give me a impersonate user functionality? What is the purpose behind that?
Okay, just to make sure how actual user would be using these services. How does it look like? What's a
That
comfortable?
you can use any user as well. You can ask your friend, boss, I'm getting your user ID, go and check. Why we need the impersonate only?
No idea, Atul.
Okay. Farah, what do you think?
I think the same thing as Equi. It's like to see what is the expected behavior when we simulate different roles for different
Okay.
user, different population, etc., and to simulate the configuration, etc. It's like it's to help the administrator, let's say,
Mhm.
to
Mhm.
have the idea about the whole behavior of different roles or profiles, something
Yeah.
like that.
Okay. Now Sachin told something in the beginning, that's fine. Farhad told something, and Ikwi also told something. But let me come to a specific word which ServiceNow use in their terms and terminologies. Impersonation user functionality given to the administrator to do the testing of a specific stuff. Suppose I am doing a user testing. I'm doing a UAT with my customers. I cannot call 100 of the users for the UAT. I call only 5 users and will tell them, boss, if we want to do the testing for an end user, impersonate with this particular user. So in short, if someone asks you, and if you did not mention this word, that impersonation user functionality given by ServiceNow only for the testing perspective, only for the testing. There is no other purpose of the impersonation user. The testing, what is important, even though you give me the answer by putting the different words or the lines, but actual answer will be saying that it is only for the testing purpose. Now also remember 2 or 3 thumb rules here, which is important for you all to be understand. Number one is that impersonation role is not available in the production system. It is not a recommended approach. It is not a best practice told by ServiceNow. Okay, I'm repeating again. Please you can make a note of the same, because this is important point to be understand. In the production system, never ever, even though you are a system admin as well, it is not recommended to have a impersonation role in the production system. Number one. Second point is that, as far as you told in the beginning, that we can impersonate admin as well. No, if you are having the ITL role and you are having the impersonation role as well, still you cannot impersonate the admin user. In short, if I say, you can do the acting being a kid with your kids, but you cannot do the acting of your father and mother because they are the upper one. So ITL user cannot impersonate any admin user. Okay, that is another 2 points which you guys need to be remember. It is a thumb rule for you. It is good practices you always remember, and if you put this thing in the interview, it will give you little add-on as well, that you know the actual purpose of the impersonation as well. Okay, any doubt, any question, any clarification till this point?
No, it's clear.
Now it's clear.
Reshma,
Yeah,
Sachin,
Clear, sir.
yeah,
Roshan. Okay, fine. Now I'll go to the next option, this magnifier glass. And I will not ask this question to Farha, Ikvi or Shame. I know you guys are expert here. Sachin, what do you think that what is this magnifier glass? Sachin, what do you think that what is this magnifier glass? Okay. Roshan, any idea of this magnifier glass? Guys, nobody is speaking. Any idea that what is this magnifier glass? Say yes or no. Okay. Now I come to Farah. She's eager to speak now. Farah, what do you mean by this magnifier glass?
It's like it's mentioned. It's search when we try to find some record or something like that. When we want to search a record, an incident.
I will add one more point here.
Yeah.
It is a search or it is a global search?
I'm not sure.
Sachin, what do you
Global
say?
search.
It is a search or it's a global search?
Global search.
Okay.
the
Ikvi,
global search.
global
Global
search.
search.
Sachin, you're speaking on mute, I guess.
When you say global search, like you're talking about
I'll-
within the service
Yes,
now.
yes,
it is.
I will tell you why it's a global search actually. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Now the homework for you guys again. One more question. You guys need to search. You guys need to be identify which mechanism has been written in the background to search anything in the service now. There's a specific term has been used in the searching mechanism. Okay, it's very
Very.
sorry.
Sorry.
Sorry, you have any question?
No, nothing.
Okay, so this is a homework for you guys to identify that which search mechanism, which search algorithm is used in ServiceNow in this particular global search option. Okay, someone can just put this question into the chat window so that everybody can go and find out the answer. Now I come to the point that why it is called the global search. Okay, the purpose of this, the thing is that why it's called the global search, because if I open here and I write word test even, okay, it will search the content, it will search this word globally. When I say globally means it will not only search in incident change or problem, it will search incident change, problem, business rule, your logics, your code, your scripting, your notification, your SLA. Wherever you use the word test, it will go and find out for you. And that is the reason we call it as the global search. The area of this search is wider. Okay, so you can see here that test word come 231 times in the incident, 48 times come in the change. Now you can see business rule 104 times it come, client script 47 times, UI action 105 times. Okay, you can search a name, a word, or you can search any record as well, right? If I put INC, what I did, I missed something, yeah. See, now it's showing the global search to me. See, when I search the record directly, it opened for me in the frame here, content frame. Okay, so that is going to be called as a global search here. Equi, any question or all clarification has been done?
I'm good.
Okay, fine. Anyone else, any question, any doubt on this part?
No, sorry, I have a question.
Yes, yes, please.
Okay, I have a question. So I know you mentioned that you can't impersonate an admin user. So what happens if I try to impersonate an admin user?
See, if you are having the ITL role and you try to search that person, let me show you the example here. Let me say, okay, I click on the impersonate here. Suppose you are just having the ITL role and you want to impersonate an admin user.
Oh, okay, okay.
His name will not come in this list.
Okay, but if I'm an admin user, I want to
Yes, then you can.
user.
Right. So now let's see. I want to be impersonate Abraham Lincoln. I click here. See, many things are not available for him. He don't have these options on the top.
Okay.
Right? He don't have a search button as well on the top. Okay. So impersonation basically give you the feel that how the other person will be look like when he or she will be using my service now.
No, but I'm saying if I'm an admin user, right? I impersonate another admin user.
You can impersonate any other admin user as well. Let me show you.
Okay, that's what I wanted to know. Wanted to clarify that.
Yes, yes. Admin can impersonate admin.
Anybody, okay.
But ITL cannot impersonate admin. ITL only can impersonate ITL user only.
I know that part, but I just wanted to be sure about the admin part. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Fine. So if till this point we are clear, let me go back to this one. That is called the toggle connect sidebar. Okay, let's take example here. In the earlier days, we just have a SMS in our phones. No internet, no WhatsApp, no Snapchat, no Skype, no Instagram, nothing was there. So we just have a SMS. You send SMS to someone, he will be reply back to you. Something happened here as well. Okay, this is called the connect sidebar. It means I can interact with any user by sitting only in my service now. How I can do? Click on the plus icon here.
Excuse me, Atul.
Yes,
What you want to say by co-workers? Co-workers, the user.
It can be a workers. It can be a users who is using service now. Anyone can be there to whom you can connect. But the only condition is that the user must be exist in service now. I cannot call to anyone who don't have a mobile number. On which number I will call, right? So now let's take example. I am as a functional trainer here. Let me put a name called the able tutor. Okay. I want to talk to this guy. Hello, boss. Good morning. Okay. Now let me show you, impersonate and show that how this message will be delivered to him. Okay. See, he got my message here. Click. This is what I ping him. Mr. Trainer, I am doing well. He pinged me back. Let me go to my profile. See, hello, Mr. Trainer, I am doing well. Now the thing is that what is the purpose of this connect chat or connect sidebar? The thing is that sometimes we don't have any other way to communicate with the customer, to communicate with the user. Okay, then we use this connect path. There are limitations as well. Limitation is that if I'm not using this portal, I shut down my system, or I am not open this portal from a last 2 days, I will not get any missed conversation notification either in my email or on my mobile phone. There's a no mechanism has been set up for the same as of now in ServiceNow out of the box. In short, if I say, if we talk in Skype for business, which we use in our offices, if I ping to Equi is not at the desk, Equi will get an email, missed conversation from Atul Grover. But this case is not possible here. The only thing is that both the users should be logged into the service now, and they can connect with each other at any point of time. Otherwise, the chat will be remain same for the other person as well. Okay. So that is the purpose of the side connect bar. Any question and doubt on this?
No.
Okay, fine. Now let me go to the next one. Toggle help sidebar. Basically, if you want to publish some article for the users to understand any specific topic or the things, then you can use this option. Okay. Basically, it is for the help to my customers or the user that how they can use the service now. You can add the, I can say, you can add the user manuals, you can add the help documents kind of stuff, you can add it here. Okay. A very less use in ServiceNow as of now, what I can see in the market. Okay. Now I come to the last topic. This is called the setting button. Okay. The beauty of ServiceNow actually lies here only. Why and how? Shihim and Farha purchased iPhone same day. Farha like the dark colors, Shihim like the light color. They both open the phone and start doing the settings at their end. Okay. Now Farha mom says, Farha, your phone is good. I also want to use your phone. Farha says, okay, no problem, you can use it. But Farha mom complain, hey, you are using so dark colors. It's not good for my eyes. I wanted a light colors. Now it's a problem for Farha. Single phone, multiple users, how this can be possible? Okay. What Farha says, okay, you need the light colors. Let me do one thing. Let me personalize the phone according to your wish. She will create a new account for her mom and do the settings in that profile. If I switch the profile, it is not going to impact me. Okay. And this is called the personalization in ServiceNow. I want to see something on my home page. I can do it, which will not impact to anyone else. A best example I can show you. I'll come to this part. Go to themes. Let me say, wait. Okay, let me do it here. Let me say I want rules as a theme. I click here. You guys see everything has been changed here, right? Now what I'll do, I'll impersonate to the able tutor just to see that is it impacting to able or not. It is not impacting to able tutor. Okay, it means now if able want to change something here, okay, he wants something on the green color or Bellamy. See, he done the changes. Now if I end the impersonation, it should not impact my profile, functional trainer profile. See, it's not impacting. So this is the one of the example called the personalize. You can personalize your instance as required. but only with the limited options given by ServiceNow. I click here. So that is the one thing. Second thing is that if I show you this thing, compact the user interface. See, now you can see the letters are little bigger. I click here. See, the spacing has been reduced. Right? Compact list date and time. Where you can see, let me go here and go to incident. Okay, like this you can see here, right? Let me go and do the settings here. Compact list. So now you can see your AM PM is gone. If I click here, my AM PM and complete are coming, but now only these things are coming. Keyboard shortcut enable, Control C, Control V, Control Z, it's already there. How you want to see your date and time? See, now it's showing year, month and date and time. I want only to see the time ago. See, this incident created 3 years ago. No date and time is coming. Totally up to you. Maybe for the some business, some companies, some projects, requirements are the different. I don't bother when this ticket has been created. It's created yesterday. Yes, it is created yesterday. Even though it's created at 23:58, it is yesterday for me. It doesn't mean that it's a midnight. It's a yesterday for me. Okay. If you want to change the language of your profile, you can select it from here. As of now, it's showing English only. If you want to change the time zone, you can change the time zone from here. Tomorrow, when we discuss more on this part, I will create a users for you guys as well. And then you can go and try to make the changes at your end. Okay. Now, if this thing has come, then I come to the accessibility. We can leave this thing. This is not much required as of now. Journal and theme is more important to be understand. I don't like this one, so I'm putting it as a bigger one here. I need the both calendars as well. Okay. Form is not okay. Notification. This is important. Okay. Again, this is a personalized one. Okay. Any question till this point before I proceed further?
No, go ahead. For me, yeah.
Okay. Now the term called the notification. Okay. Suppose if we go to bank and open a bank account. Okay. When she was filling the form, she get an option. Do you want the email for every transaction happen in your bank account? She said yes. Do you want SMS as well for the withdrawal of more than $100? She said yes. For her also go to the same bank. Want to open the account. For her also have the same question. Do you want to receive email notification of the all transactions of your bank account? For her said no, I don't care about these things. Do you want SMS when the withdrawal is more than $100? Nothing matter for me. Minimum $1,000 should be there. So what you guys are doing? You are doing the changes as per your wish. You are personalizing the changes. Bank is giving option to everyone, but you guys opted your own way. 1,000, I know less than 1,000 I never withdraw. Why should I get an email or SMS for the same? If I withdraw more than 1,000, then the SMS should come to me. So this is called the notification section. How this can be configured, we will definitely discuss in detail. But here we are discussing on the notification personalization, that which email should I receive, which email should I should not receive, what are the conditions, what are the matter which is required for me to understand to get the emails. I can do the personalization here. So when we start our discussion, incident, change, problem, notification, then I'll pick up these topics again one by one in the between. to give you the heads up, to give you the understanding that guys, we discussed this thing, personalization, and we are here now. So you can define, let's say I want email only for approval, but when approval has been requested. Otherwise, I don't want any other email. If someone rejecting the change, I don't care. I just care when anyone requesting approval for me. Only then I'm bothered and the email should come into my bucket. Otherwise, it should not come in my bucket. Okay, so this is the another place where you as a user can do the personalization. It will not impact to any other user at all. Okay. Any doubt, any question, any clarification on this point?
No.
No.
sir.
All, everyone fine? Sachin, Reshma,
Yes.
Gaurav, Mahesh.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
sir.
Yes, sir.
This is practice version, right?
Yes, yes. Okay. Let's take only this topic as of now, and then we'll close this for the today. Okay. This is called the application navigator. We have this option available in our mobile phone as well. Any idea? What do you think? Do we have this option available in our mobile phone? Yes or no?
Yes, when we search contacts, something
Yes.
like that.
Right.
Any web application.
Right,
Search.
right. So in ServiceNow, we call this as the application navigator. What is application? What is module? We will discuss when we start doing our table creation part. Okay, in detail, we'll discuss on that part. So you can search here any application which you want to open. I want to search for the change. So I can see my application is a change. Under application, I have a different modules. Contact is my application. Add contact, remove contact, update contact, share contact, club contact, navigate contact, merge contact, all are my different modules. But application is one that is called the contact. This question has been asked multiple times in the ServiceNow interview. What do you mean by the word application and what do you mean by the word module here? Okay, so application is the biggest which contains one or more modules, and modules basically the different functions, different kind of a functionality available under that application is called the module here. Okay, so if you want to search, I search here and click on the open. I will get all the all the changes which are in the open state.
So
Okay.
this is what we see here, change management or problem or knowledge. It comes under module or it comes under application?
No. So if you see this change is the application, but create, new, open, close are the modules of a change.
Okay.
Okay. So like my mobile phone is kind of an application. Under mobile, in my mobile phone, I have installed multiple apps. Those are my modules specifically. If I go on the broader level, I have a WhatsApp. It's an application. Under WhatsApp, I have a add contact, remove contact, video call, voice call, payment, star message, unstar messages, or what I can say, DP, status, all these are kind of different modules. But if you remove application, modules will go on. But if you remove the module, applications still remain there only. If you don't want to use the status, don't use it, but it doesn't mean that you are uninstalling the WhatsApp. So the same way it's work here. Okay, every module has a different functionality, By using the status, you cannot see the DP. By using the star messages, you cannot see the unstar message that time, right? So it is the way that they has been defined. On the phone we have a button called the call. You can call from that button. You cannot disconnect that one until the call starting, right? SMS have a send button. You can only send the message from that button. You cannot receive the message from that button. So in short, modules are the way which we want to use, or modules are the functionality which we want to use in our day in day out time. Okay. Now a question come, and definitely this happen. Suppose you call to your father or mother every day, maybe twice or thrice in a day you call them. Okay. It is tough to go into the contact, search for the father name, and then call them. What you guys do? You make them as a favorite, right? You make them as a bookmark, right? So it means that I should not travel a lot of in my phone to get one number out. So the same functionality given by ServiceNow called the favorites here. Suppose I'm using the open button, open module a lot of time. Let me do this thing, and I go here and here. Now I just click here. It will open the all change records. Let me click on the home button here. I want to see the all open changes. Click here. It is done for me. Clear? Any doubt, any question till this point?
Now it's clear.
Okay.
Yes.
These are the basics to understand actually. This is required to understand. Okay. Now the last is basically called the history tab. If you open any record, maybe later, a day back or 2 days back, so you can find out that record easily here. But it has some time limitation. Maybe I guess it's just keep the history for 1 or 2 days only, not more than that. Okay, so you can click here like user record new. This thing. Like take example, you're watching a movie and suddenly your mom call. You press the middle button of your mobile phone. It means your movie has been stopped at that place only. Now, if you open to that movie, go to the document and the folder, go to click movie. If you open that, your movie will start automatically from there only. So that is the purpose of the history here. Okay. So these are the major points which is required to understand here. Always remember one thing in ServiceNow. ServiceNow module or application visibility. I'm again repeating, ServiceNow module and application visibility or the search always work on the role provided to the user. If you have an ITIL user, you have a limited access. If you are an admin user, you have a more access. Simple thing. In Office laptop, I cannot install any software. But in my personal laptop, I can do that part. Why? Because in my Office laptop, I just have a user role. But in my personal laptop, I have an admin role as well. So always remember that ServiceNow work only and only on the basis of the role provided to the user. Either on the searching, either on the creation of the record, everything, it depends on the role provided to the user. Only on that basis ServiceNow work actually. Okay. Any question, any doubt, any clarification required till this point? Or all good?
So it's okay.
Yeah. Okay. Anyone else? Gaurav, Reshma, Roshan, Sachin, Mahesh?
Nothing, sir. It's clear.
Okay, fine. So now let me stop the recording here. Okay.